Today, online courses are really popular, and a lot of my students actually want to create an online course system on top of WordPress. And so when it comes to that type of a plugin, LearnDash is one of the top contenders out there. It's what I'm using, and in this video, we're going to take a look at how it works. Hello there, David Risley here with Blog Marketing Academy, and let's talk about LearnDash. Now, it's a really popular plugin that will allow you to set up online courses on your WordPress site. And it's what's called a learning management system, or LMS for short. So the first thing we got to talk about is what exactly is an LMS, because a lot of my readers also know that I'm a big fan of Thrive Themes, and Thrive Themes has a system called Thrive Apprentice. And so many people do look at Thrive Apprentice. It's very affordable. That being said, it's not really a full LMS. It's not a full learning management system. All it does is allow you to display and organize your online courses, and that's it. And so with that being said, what the heck is a full LMS? What exactly does it do? Well, an LMS does a few different things here. First of all, yes, it's going to organize your courses. It's going to allow you to set up your courses. It's going to allow you to display lessons and various things underneath that and organize them into sections or modules. That's pretty standard. However, a real LMS is also going to allow you to do things that a normal school would do, such as assignments, quizzes, course prerequisites, a number of different features like that Thrive Apprentice just doesn't do. It was not built to do it. It probably will never do it, because I don't believe that Thrive Themes is going to try to turn Thrive Apprentice into a full-blown LMS. And so in my business with the lab, I was using a very custom setup before, okay? And it was actually built originally on a theme called Memberoni. Now, the Memberoni theme is a theme built for membership site owners, and it's put out by the membership guys, or I think that's what it's called. But it's a Member Site Academy. I used to be a member over there. They do a really great job. And the Memberoni theme is also pretty solid. Now, I took the Memberoni theme and I customized the hell out of that thing and made it do some stuff that it was never designed to do. Now, that being said, there's a problem with that, and that was that I was the only one who knew how that thing worked. And that's kind of a problem when you want to develop the business further. There were there were some shortcomings, let's just put it that way, with that system. And the only person who could do anything about it was this guy. And I didn't want to. I should not be spending all of my time coding. And so I went looking around for alternatives, and I landed on LearnDash. Now, ultimately, I have a much more developed software stack. LearnDash is just one part of it. I use WP Fusion for membership. I sell everything through ThriveCart. So there's other things involved here. But LearnDash is now how all of the online training inside the lab works. So with that being said, let's head on over to screen and let me show you the inside. All right, so inside the back end, we're actually inside the admin area for the lab itself. And so when you have LearnDash installed, you've got it over here in the menu, and you can see the breakdown here. So we have courses, lessons, and topics. Now, the big thing to understand is that these go in a tree-like structure. So you can have multiple topics inside of a lesson, and then, of course, you can assign multiple lessons to a course, okay? Now, I don't use topics all that much, but lessons, obviously, you are going to, and courses goes without saying. Now, as we go down here, you, of course, can build quizzes all day long, and it's a very powerful quiz system inside of LearnDash. You will, of course, assign questions to those quizzes. Okay. When it comes to certificates, you can give people certificates for passing a quiz. It could also be for completing a course, which would be the most common thing. You can give your students assignments. You can group courses together in order to assign access rights to a group of courses all simultaneously. You can, of course, run reports, get add-ons, the whole shindig. Now, here we are inside of the lab where we have all these courses that are all currently part of the lab library. And if we just head on into one, like this one called Aweber Essentials that I just created recently. Let's load this bad boy up, and you'll see some of the options. Now, By default with WordPress, you will actually be using the new editor, the Gutenberg editor. Now, in my setup, I've turned off the Gutenberg editor because I actually don't really care for it that much. And so you see the description here of the course that's in the standard editor. If I were using Gutenberg, you'd see the Gutenberg interface. But you have these various settings here. Now, this here is for WP Fusion, which I do use and love a lot. I've actually already done a WP Fusion review. And that is what I use to power the membership site. Now, a big part of how this setup works is in the course builder. This is really, really cool, and it makes it to where it's really easy to quickly create the structure of a course, okay? Because these are all the different lessons. You can expand these down. You can move them as I just did without actually intending to. Expand them down, and inside of any lesson, you can add a topic. You can attach a quiz to it. You can drag and drop these things around like I just showed you. I'm not going to save this. You can break up sections of the course, kind of like you would maybe for modules, using new section headings and drag and drop them. And so it's really nice when you can actually set this thing up where you can outline the course in advance, which is what I usually do. And then in here, when I come into the course builder, I can really, really quickly just put the entire course structure together and drag and drop it. And then it will create those lessons and everything. And then what you do is you just hit this edit button, or you can go over to the lessons area and access them. And then you go into each individual lesson and you set it up to look the way that you want. But you could put the structure together really, really fast that way. If we head on over into the settings, you see a lot of the things that LearnDash is capable of doing. So course materials, this would be if I want to add any downloads or anything associated with that course. We can attach a certificate to the course when they actually complete it. I don't have any set up inside the lab. We can control some display options here on how the lessons are actually displayed. LearnDash has a number of access controls that are built right into it, okay? And so you actually don't technically need a membership site plugin to have a LearnDash powered course portal. That being said, I still recommend that you have one, because by having a real membership plugin or a real shopping cart, it actually gives you a lot more flexibility in terms of pricing. You can sell things. You can see the buy now option or the recurring, and you can do this all built right into LearnDash. But the integrations that it has with Stripe or PayPal are fairly basic. They function fine, but they're fairly basic. And so I personally like to process everything independently, and I personally use ThriveCart to do all that. And then if you close it, then that will also defer to your membership plugin if you're using one. And then you can totally control all this via a membership plugin like Wishlist Member or Member Mouse or whatever you might be using. In my case, it's WP Fusion. You can assign prerequisites to any course. You can assign points if you want to gamify this thing. You can set an expiration on when that course is going to disappear. This thing about applying tags, this is all put in there by WP Fusion. So this is really, really cool. It allows me to control access to the course with tags in my CRM, but that's a subject for another time. Linear and freeform, this is if we want to allow people to jump around inside the course, or whether we want to force them to go in order. Most of my courses, I allow it to freeform so people can use them as ongoing references. However, my roadmap sections inside the lab are set to be linear because I want them to go in order. That's the entire point of the roadmap. And then you got a few other settings down here. And then groups is where you can set up a group of courses all at once. And then whenever users are part of that group, which I control with WP Fusion, I can basically give them access to a whole big pile of courses all at the same time. And in my case, I keep it real simple. You're either a pro member of the lab or you're not. And when somebody becomes a lab pro member, they get access to all the courses simultaneously. And so we've got one group for that, and that's what we use to give access to everything at the same time. So it's a really, really simple system. If we come into the add-ons section of LearnDash, you can actually see some of the available add-ons that you can pick up. We got Stripe, we've got LearnDash Notification, which is sort of cool. If you're using the Elementor page builder, there's a number of things that you can customize using Elementor. That's, I'm a big Thrive Architect guy myself. However, this is one of the great things about Elementor, and I do own a license to Elementor as well, and it's because it has so much third-party support for other software, and LearnDash is obviously one of them. Whereas Thrive Architect, as great as it is, tends to be an island unto itself. So, but you got WooCommerce, you got integrations with various membership site plugins, Zapier, bbPress if you want to put a community, easy digital downloads, Gravity Forms if you want to integrate Gravity Form setups into your courses. It goes right on down the line. There's a lot of stuff in here. And this is actually one of the beauties of LearnDash, is the fact that it has so much integration support and third-party support from outside vendors. It's one of the major reasons I wanted to switch over to it. If we go over to settings, you can control a number of things with the way that your courses are going to look. Now, important to understand here is that in order to really make LearnDash courses look great, you're going to want to have a theme that actually has LearnDash support as part of it. And I'll show you the inside of the lab in a minute, but I'm using something called BuddyBoss as my theme inside the lab, which integrates with LearnDash beautifully and makes everything look great. And there's a number of alternatives out there if you don't want to use BuddyBoss, but to really make LearnDash look great, you want to have a theme that works with it, so that it works with the CSS calls, the way that LearnDash outputs them, and then you're going to have a really beautiful course portal. All right, but you can control all the language as you go through. So if you don't want to use the default language, you can actually change these labels here. You got your PayPal settings, translations for language stuff, data upgrades, which you don't even know what the heck this is. Okay, sounds good. Some mechanical behind the scenes nerdy stuff. So there's a lot there. Now let me go over to the live side again. Let me show you the Pro Panel area. Okay, now we're on the dashboard, the actual WordPress dashboard, and you can see that I've got some widgets in here called Pro Panel. Now, Pro Panel is actually an add-on that is built by the LearnDash guys, and this is what gives you a whole lot of reporting so that you can actually monitor what's going on throughout all of your courses. And this is really, really powerful. Now, so this is a global overview here. I've got 39 courses in the system. The assignments and essays are 0 because I don't really use those. And then 572 students. I actually have more than that, but these are just how many have been enrolled in a course since I started using LearnDash. So it thinks I only have 572. Now, the really important part here is the filtering, where you can actually select individual users if you want to in order to find out what is going on for them. But then the filters are global, where you can run it based on groups of courses that I showed you, and I only have one. I can filter based on individual courses in the system, and just to find out what's happening. Like this course is brand spanking new, but if I click on that and filter, what's going to show me is what is going on in here with how many people are taking it, which I don't expect hardly anybody to, because I literally just posted this less than a day ago. But it's a powerful system to be able to just pull through some of your courses in order to find out what is actually happening with that course, because otherwise you really wouldn't know what the heck is going on. And this is something that I was really, really missing in my previous setup that was based on Memberoni. While my students could check things off when they were completed, and that was totally fine, I had no way to monitor it or do anything about it, okay? And with this, I can not only monitor and get some statistics on whether people are completing courses and things like that, but with the WP Fusion system in there as well, which I'm a massive fan on, I could even do things like add a tag to their profile the moment that they complete a course, which could then trigger a marketing automation and trigger emails from Drip. And it's a beautiful thing, the amount of power that it has when you have a software stack like this. Okay, and just to give you an idea of what it can look like, this is inside the lab. So if you have a membership with the lab, you've already seen all of this. Now, this whole lab setup is powered by the Buddy Boss theme. And so everything that you see here is actually part of the Buddy Boss theme. However, it has a really solid integration with LearnDash. And so all these courses here are all part of that system. Let me just go ahead and click into one. Here's one of the courses, how it's displayed. When we come down here, you can see the individual lessons of that course. These sections here are actually just sections. So in the course builder, you set those up as a section, and then you can assign lessons underneath it. And so it's really easy. You got progress tracking in here, and you know that it's in progress. This big blue area, I just leave it like that, but you could put in a nice cover photo there and really make this thing look good. If we go ahead and continue on my progress through my own course here, of course, it's got the video, the text. You can mark it as complete when you were done. You've got a really nice setup here where you can navigate through. Now, I can jump around in here because I set these courses up to be freeform, but if it was linear, then it would make me go in order. Okay. With this theme, I can get things out of the way and just really focus on the content here. I can put it into night mode if I want to. There's a lot of stuff that can be done here. And then if I mark that thing as complete, it just progresses to the next one. So it's a really clean experience here, all powered by LearnDash, but formatted to look really nice by the Buddy Boss theme. But again, if you're not using the Buddy Boss theme, there are a number of other options out there that also integrate with LearnDash. So you just got to pick what you want, okay? And I will mention that LearnDash looks respectable even inside of other themes that don't officially support it. And that is because LearnDash does come with its own CSS, okay? However, if you really want it to look clean, you're probably gonna want to have theme support built into it. All right, in terms of pricing, these are the prices of LearnDash as of this recording. Starts at $159. For $189, we quickly jump up to 10 licenses, and it also includes the Pro Panel add-on. And so personally, because it's only a $30 difference here, I think the Plus package is an absolute no-brainer. I wouldn't even bother with the basic package. I would go with Plus package because the Pro Panel add-on all by itself is definitely worth the extra 30 bucks. When you go up to the $329 option, you get 25 sites, but again, that's not going to be necessary unless you're building client sites out with LearnDash and stuff like that. But for most people, even if you only have the one site, I would still do the Plus package because the Pro Panel, which is so you can run reports and track students' progress and see what the completion rates are on your courses and things like that, that's definitely worth the 30 bucks, and I would definitely go for it. Okay, so that's a down and dirty look at LearnDash and how it works. I'm a really big fan of LearnDash. Now, there are other good solid LMS systems out there, and I've looked at some. I have used WP Courseware in the past, and sure, it's developed some since I was using it, but I haven't used it in probably 3 years now. And so I don't know where WP Courseware stands today. I will say that just judging by the sales letter of WP Courseware, it looks a little outdated now. And the other thing is that with the price of WP Courseware being $149, you could spend just an extra 40 bucks and get LearnDash and all that it does. To me, LearnDash would definitely be the way to go. Now, another really popular option, there's plenty of them out there, but Lifter LMS is another popular one. I have not spent much time with Lifter LMS. I know that it's a free LMS, and it does have some power to it. That being said, you're probably going to find that some of the things that you want are probably inside of an add-on. And the thing is, that's their business model. It's a free plugin, but they make all their money with the add-ons, and that can stack up real fast. And so when it comes to the way that I've looked around at this, and when I was shopping for myself, it came down to this. LearnDash has a lot of third-party support, which was something that I was after. I was definitely trying to get away from running a site that I was the only one that knew how it worked. LearnDash appears to be more or less a standard bearer. It can be used for independent membership sites like mine. It can be also used to run, full-on continuing education platforms and online schools and really official stuff where you need like some serious record keeping, because people are getting accreditations and stuff like that. LearnDash can do all that. And if it doesn't do it built in, it probably has add-ons that can, because LearnDash has so much third-party support. So when you balance all that together, the fact that it's got the course builder in there now so that you can really quickly and easily put courses together, and it's really pretty easy. The system looks really nice on mobile, and the fact that it costs what it costs, which is extremely reasonable for what it's doing, I think LearnDash is the way to go. Okay, so that is my review of LearnDash. It's why I'm using it. And if you have any questions, definitely hit me up. I'll try to answer them to you. I can even record a private little screencast and show you what the inside looks like on something specific if you're interested. And other than that, talk to you later.